Oh, that's Mr. Hornsby 83. This is the Mr. Hornsby 83 show, and today, as you see, I got the big gold belt. I got my Wolfpack shirt. That means I'm talking wrestling, and I'm going to talk about who should have been the pillars of WCW in a revamped WCW. I'm going to talk about heels, I'm going to talk about faces, I'm going to talk about when I would have started the whole revamp instead of waiting until 2000, where that's what they did. My hair's getting super long. Need a haircut again soon. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about where I'm gonna start and all that stuff. Also, before I go into this though, gotta get something out of the way. Now, the Halloween event, and this will be the last thing I'm gonna be doing, but the Halloween event, I'm adding a third championship match. I'm going to do 3 matches. Should have enough time to get through all 3 of the matches, especially one of the matches I'm planning on doing something silly with. But I should be able to do all 3 of the matches without too much hassle. And I will talk about what the match is going to be. It's going to be a World Championship match between Chris Jericho and Biker Undertaker. And it's going to be, I'm going to be using one of the Flex Force belts. I mean, with the new WCW belt coming out, they don't come out till next year. But I'm going to be using the Flex Force belt. It's going to be around the Invasion. I've been using, I got some belts. But you'll see all the belt stuff when I get to that event. But yeah, got a couple of Flex Force belts. Go with the Toys Biz belts we got in there, because the new Mattel WCW belts ain't coming out till early next year, and I'm guessing the Lex Luger one's coming first. Then we're gonna get the Rick Rude ones. I mean, the Lex Luger belt looks good. The one that don't have the logo, but the other one looks like it's using the old WCW, the old WWF, or the old WWE World Heavyweight title mold. But the one that doesn't have the paint on it, looks like that's coming the way the Rick Rude one is. So, yeah. So I had to get those out of the way real quick before I start this now. WCW through 96, 97, and most of 98 were pretty good. Now, WWF was starting to beat them in 98 with the whole Monday Night War stuff. But here's the thing. Even though WWF was beating them, WCW still had some good stuff going on in 98. People just think 98's the year it got bad. Where it got bad with WCW was 99 and 2000. 99 and 2000 is where it got really bad with WCW. Once that freaking 99 and 2000 hit, that's when it really went to crap, especially toward the end of 99. And the beginning half of 2000 was bad. I thought the second half of 2000 was alright, because we had guys like Booker T and Scott Steiner wearing the big gold belt, the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, which you see I got on my shoulder right here. My favorite belt of all time, my second favorite, is the Big Eagle. Anyway, so where do I start with the WCW revamp? Well, I'd probably start with toward the end of 99. Middle toward the end of 99 is where I would start the revamp, because early 99 really went downhill. I mean, this whole finger poke crap happened. The fact that they didn't have Goldberg come back and take out the whole freaking Wolfpack Elite and take the WCW Championship back really irritated me as well. So I would go with late 99-ish. You can see the belt better on this shoulder, yeah. I would go late 99 or mid 99, whichever one you feel like. I feel like mid to late 99 would be a good time to revamp. Now, who would I have as my pillars for the new WCW? So this is going to be interesting. Depending on when you start, my pillars are going to be Goldberg, Booker T. Then I go with Jeff Jarrett. Actually, I wouldn't go with Jeff Jarrett. I go with Scott Steiner, then Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett could be the second guy behind Steiner, just like Booker T could be the second guy behind Goldberg. So I'd go Steiner as my top heel. My top two heels would be Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner being number one heel. And then my top faces would be Booker T and Goldberg. But Goldberg would be the top face. And then, like if this is mid-99, I would go with Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho also as top pillars in mid-99. Now, Jericho was already gone from WCW mid-99, but had he not left, I'd go with him. And even if he was still gone, I'd go with Benoit as at least my third top face in the company. Or third top heel, whichever way you go. Then I gotta find one more guy to be my top pillar. I'd go with probably Diamond Dallas Page, either as face or heel. Benoit could be face or heel, and Diamond Dallas Page could be face. You could also make a case for Perry Saturn, maybe Eddie Guerrero, and all that stuff to be top dogs too. But like I said, if Jericho's gone, Benoit's that third guy, whether it's on the heel side or on the face side. And Page would be the third guy, whether it's on the heel side or the face side. Because at the time he was a heel. I'd also would give a push to Marcus Bagwell. If I was doing this in the middle of 99, he'd be like probably my top mid-card guy. And possibly do some lower tier main events to make things interesting, but yeah. Alright, so I gotta be definitive. So I guess I would go with Diamond Dallas Page as a heel and Benoit as a face. So my top three faces would be Goldberg, Booker T, and Benoit. Benoit will win the WCW title before 2000, when Kevin Sullivan got the books back. But I'll talk about the Kevin Sullivan thing again here in a minute, and why I call him a decent booker instead of a good booker like I know a lot of other people probably thought he was, but I'll do that. And then my heels would be Scott Steiner, Jeff Jarrett, and Diamond Dallas Page. Now if Jeff Jarrett wasn't available, I'd probably go with Bret Hart to be a top heel. Or Kevin Nash. One of those two could be the top heel in the third spot. But if I'm revamping WCW at the end of 99, means Jericho and that's gone, I would have Bill Goldberg, Booker T, and then I'd probably have Bret Hart. And then heels, I'd have Scott Steiner, Jeff Jarrett, and the franchise Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas should have got a better push in WCW. He got buried in WCW the way Taz got buried in WWF over on the other side. So if I'm revamping, Shane Douglas is pretty much the same as Jeff Jarrett, except for I think Shane Douglas is a little bit better, and I think Shane Douglas would have represented the WCW title a lot better than Jeff Jarrett did. But anyway, why do you hate Jeff so lot? I just do. Anyway, so those would be my three top guys. If we're revamping at 2000, of course it's still going to be Goldberg and Booker T is going to be my top two faces. And then I'd go with, trying to think. If Eric Bischoff or if, Vince Russo or somebody was able to get, I'd probably go Bret Hart. Probably number 3 at face. Heels, it'd still be Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. It would be Jeff Jarrett. Actually, it would be Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, and Jeff Jarrett. Those would be my top 3 guys in 2000. Jeff Jarrett would go to third. And Shane Douglas would still be in the mix. A couple other guys would still be in the mix on the face side as well, but it is 2000. Honestly, well, late 2000. I don't know, but if it was late 2000 and WCW was able to pick up somebody like Rob Van Dam or something like that, I'd go Goldberg, Booker T, Rob Van Dam. Then I'd go frickin' Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, and frickin' Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas deserved better than what he got in WCW. Is pretty much what I'm saying. Now for my top mid-carders, it depends on who's still on the roster. One of my top mid-carders would probably be, if he didn't leave, probably be Benoit. On the heel side, I'd go with Jeff Jarrett. So, yeah. You know, another top mid-carder, I'd probably put a lot behind Billy Kidman as one of my guys. I would not make him a top-tier heavyweight champion or anything. I wouldn't make him a U.S. champ or a world heavyweight champion. But he could be TV champion, or he could be the top cruiserweight guy. You also got to take into account, you know, Rey Mysterio also, so yeah. But also they had guys like the Wall in that, and I think Wall would have made a good mid-card guy for them. Alex Wright could have stayed on the top of the mid-card in WCW, but they pretty much bungled everything up with him. Also, you also have Lance Storm on the roster, and he was a top mid-card heel in WCW in the dying days, but yeah. And let's say WCW survived past 2001. They would be their top guys. Well, first of all, I'd phase out all the legends like whenever I started this revamp. I'd use the legends to get over like the younger guys I'm trying to get over, like Goldberg, Booker T, you know, Scott Steiner and all that stuff. But, I mean, the legends would still have a role on the show, but not as main eventers. They could be like doing all this other stuff, but not top tier main eventers. That includes guys like that I like Lex Luger and all that. But yeah. If they survive, I'd stick with Scott Steiner as the top heel and Goldberg as the top face. But then I would transition to other guys. Like I'd try to pick up, like let's say Batista was still with WCW. I'd make him a top heel at first. He'd probably get over as a baby face, but I'd make him one of my top heels. And he could have been the replacement for Lex Luger. Canyon, I think they could have boosted him a little bit more as well. I think Canyon did not get a fair shake at WCW. He was like pretty much lower mid-card. He should have been higher up in the mid-card range. But he was lower mid-card. And, you know, like I said, Batista would be a good heel. Then you get a face like AJ Styles could be your new face. You also could have picked up guys like John Cena in that. Imagine, had WCW not died in 2001, John Cena and Batista were both under contract with WCW, if I'm not mistaken. So was AJ Styles. Imagine what you could have done with those three guys on your roster if WCW was still around in 2001. Had they made it past 2001. Imagine what you could have did with those guys. You could have did a lot. You probably would have ended up beating Raw in the ratings again. But, you know, as it goes, WCW died. And, you know, now we got AEW, which people are already hating on AEW. And they've been hating on AEW since AEW's been announced. And I think a lot of times, a lot of these people these days give AEW a lot of unfair criticisms. Yes, AEW does have bad booking. Yes, they do have some bad storytelling, but they also have some good storytelling as well. And the matches are still pretty good. Now, what Tony Khan can do to get the ratings up and get eyes on the TV and all that again, I have no clue. But you gotta think of something, man. I think bringing Wardlow in with his own group and building him up to be a superstar, especially if you have Wardlow just freaking bring his own group and they just destroy the Undisputed Kingdom or something. I mean, like, Wardlow just turns on Adam Cole and then he has his new crew destroy the Undisputed Kingdom. But I'll talk about that in a video next year when I do a AEW video, because I don't think much is going to change with AEW for the rest of this year. If they do, then maybe I'll talk about it. But, you know, from here on, after this video, from here on, it's nothing but horror topics. I'll have revisited. I'll be talking about why I think, which I just did, why I think A New Nightmare is overrated on Monday. I will also have why I think Halloween H2O is overrated. And a bunch of other horror topics will be coming up in the weeks to come. But I want to get one final wrestling video in for the year before I do the wrestling figure event. I also want to announce that I got a third match I'm adding. And like I said, I'll start building to that next month. I'll start building to that because October 25th is the Friday before Halloween, and I'll be doing, instead of doing a playthrough, I'll be doing a wrestling figure event that day. So, yeah. Anyway, I might throw in some other topics that don't have nothing to do with Halloween or anything like that. But right now, it's pretty much horror Halloween topics from here on out for the remainder of the year until I freaking do my wrestling figure event in October, which will be October 25th. Now, before I go, I want to talk about why I said Kevin Sullivan was a decent booker instead of saying he was a good booker in my tribute at the beginning of the video for him. Well, the reason why I said that is because, yeah, he did some things, he booked some things that were good in WCW, but he also booked some bad things in WCW as well, even during the good years. So that's why I gave him the designation of a decent booker. And I know a lot of people make a joke about he booked his own freaking divorce and all that stuff. Yeah, I get that. But, yeah, he was a decent booker. And I think, yeah, he did help book a lot of good things for WCW, but he also booked a few bad things for WCW as well. So that's why I called him a decent booker instead of a great booker or a good booker. He's a better booker right now than Tony Khan is, I'll give you that. He's a better booker right now than Tony Khan is right now, but yeah. Anyway, let me know who you would have made the main pillars of WCW and when you would have tried to do the revamp for WCW. Like, move past the NWO crap, move past the legends and all that stuff. Let me know what year you would have decided to do that. And who would you have made your top pillars in WCW? Let me know in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe for more, follow my Facebook fan page, also follow my business page on Facebook as well, which is Trigen Toys, so that way I can start posting on how well we done when we go to the flea markets or when we do the long yard sale and all that stuff. So I can post that on here so I don't have to waste it on YouTube. But you know what, I've been plugging my business ever since I came back on YouTube, my Trigen Toys business, which I've been working on since 2018, and little did I know, there was a place at Fairfield about to open called Toy Department, so yeah. I'm trying to do what Toy Department did in 2018, and I've been working on it since 2018. But anyway, that'll do it. Catch you guys later, and see you for the playthrough Friday, which is Eternal Champions. Peace out.